Hey everyone, if you're a subscriber to the channel but you want more exclusive content, consider becoming a Storm Nation member. You can just click the join button and pick one of the 3 tiers that best suit you, and you get more exclusive content such as my top 3, Ask Robert, where tier 2 and tier 3 members get to ask me questions, or the weekly Storm Nation live stream, which is a live stream that's exclusive to only Storm Nation members, hosted by both me and Filmmaster Adam, where you guys, the mega tier members, actually get to be a part of the stream. So if you guys want more exclusive content that's not available for regular subscribers, be sure to hit the join button, pick a tier that best suits you, and it helps support the channel, so I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Have a good day. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Storms Live. Anzo could not make it today because he's not feeling too well. So he's not here today. He should be back tomorrow, as well as Adam. It's going to be me and Mr. Danny. And Sharif should be dropping in shortly. He's probably setting up. So he's going to probably drop in whenever he gets done setting up. So there'll be the 3 of us. But tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit more Kong versus Godzilla. I want to get Sharif's take on this because apparently he has some different takes that I personally had. I don't think me and Danny really had a chance to really talk about it all that much. And Nindroids comes off. We got 2 super chats to start off right off the bat. Nindroid said, "What's up, everybody? I actually liked the movie." I didn't. I did not like the movie. I actually didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it like I did Godzilla 2014, and I didn't hate it like I hated Godzilla King of Monsters. There were some parts in it that I really, really liked. I liked the fact that there were 2 fight scenes that took place during the day. I like that. I did not like how Godzilla whooped Kong's ass, but then Mechagodzilla whoops Godzilla's ass, but then Kong whoops Mechagodzilla's ass. It doesn't make sense. That's like if I beat the shit, hold on, let me come up with a good analogy. It's like I beat the shit out of Adam, Danny beats the shit out of me, and then Adam beats the shit out of Danny. It just doesn't make sense. How the fuck can Adam beat the shit out of Danny when I just kicked Adam's ass?
But it's kind of like any given Sunday.
That doesn't work with fighting, though, does it?
I think some boxers have other boxers' numbers.
I guess, but I mean, Godzilla, though, I mean, he whooped Kong's ass in that last round, and then Mechagodzilla came out, just made him look like a fucking pussy. And
the first round was really Kong never had a chance.
No, because it was in water. Yeah,
water situation. So I gave that to Godzilla. But the first half of that fight, Kong beat Godzilla pretty soundly.
Yeah.
And Godzilla got a second win.
Yeah,
and then.
But they made Kong look like a bitch though, because he was like on the ground. He had his fucking like shit on his fucking foot on his chest and shit. You know,
yeah, he's scratching the shit up in his chest. I mean,
yeah, dude, like he about killed Kong. It wasn't until they did that electric shock thing that brought him back into fucking the life, man. What's up, man?
Chilling.
Let me get to Jake's super chat before we get into the whole Kong thing. Brian T. Henry is actually a good comic relief. Who's Brian T. Henry? Was he the black guy? The token black guy?
Yes, that was Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah, he just played the token character, man.
He's a good comic relief. He did play it up a little menstrual, but other than that, he is a good character if you see him in other roles.
I couldn't tell you one line they said because thanks to watching this shit at home versus the theater, I had to sit through that shit and I fast forward.
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky, man.
Fast forward.
What are you talking about?
I sat there and watched that whole movie in pain. Well, not in pain, but
something that seemed remotely boring. I hit double F, buddy.
Jasmine comes in with a super chat. How the fuck did Kong travel all the way from Antarctica to Hong Kong just from the Hollow Earth?
Okay,
he went to the hole.
Yeah, the hole. That I mean, it's So, Sharif, man, I
It
heard
looked like a boom tube to me. That's the best way to describe it. Like, what the fuck?
I heard you had some thoughts on the movie. I'm very curious because we didn't have a chance to talk about this.
Okay, so I overall liked it.
Yeah, I
Definitely,
kind of liked it.
definitely stuff I didn't like about it. One of the things I didn't like about it was, again, they're trying to pigeonhole these. They're trying to pigeonhole these human characters into the movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm cool with that, but at the same time, don't make them such a big thing about it.
Yes.
The other part about it is I really didn't care for the group following Godzilla. So like I was watched the director's commentary, and what he talked about was it was essentially two movies clashing into one. It was the people following Godzilla,
Yeah.
those three, and then you had the three following Kong. Now the three following Kong made sense. I get it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That
Yes.
made a lot of sense. The people following Godzilla, I was like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah, I did not like them at all.
I definitely like the fight scenes. The fight scenes were really, really good. Took a little while to get to them. I know you complained about that in your little rant, but I was like, listen, I'm cool with it. I'd rather wait.
The first one didn't hit until like 40 minutes into the movie.
I guess they wanted to hit you with like an appetizer. So like that first scene when you see Godzilla at the very beginning of the movie, when he's gonna go attack Pensacola, that was cool. And then like I saw it and I didn't like connect it until he said till I watched the director's commentary and he was like, I wanted to pay homage to like Jaws from back in the day. So that's why you get that shot of Kong coming up from the fins all the way to his face to his eyes coming up, and then like he wanted to do that. And I thought that was cool. I thought that was like a really cool way to do that. But the second he destroyed that base, like everybody knew was up.
Where do you see director's commentary already?
Well, it's not commentary. I mean, like he talked about it. Like he was on like these different websites and all
like
different
interviews
videos
and stuff.
That's what I'm talking about. No.
Where the hell did you get that already?
Nah. So I just thought that was cool. Now I have some other issues with the movie that I can wait till we get further into the live to talk about. But I want to hear everybody else's like initial thoughts. Like
so. I mean, if you've seen my review, then you hear my thoughts. I don't think it's nowhere near as bad as the previous movies. I think Kong Skull Island is still my favorite out of the four. That
absolutely.
Because at least the human characters in Kong Skull Island made sense and they didn't overshadow Kong. The three characters that followed Godzilla in this movie, I agree with you 100%. I hated them. I thought they were worthless. I thought they were useless, other than pouring the alcohol on the thing to fuck up Mechagodzilla, which I thought was laughable.
It was. It really was. All of that, you're going to tell me you spent all this money to make Mechagodzilla, and then you're going to tell me this, that's it? Come on, man. That was too convenient. Too convenient.
Yeah, that bothered me. I loved all the Kong stuff. Like everything involving Kong, I really liked. The little girl made sense, and everything with Kong I liked. Godzilla, I thought I liked it. It just the human characters. It was almost like two different movies. I think you mentioned that though. It was like you got the Kong stuff and then the Godzilla stuff, and the Millie Bobby Brown stuff with Godzilla just didn't make sense. The kid from Deadpool 2 and all like you could have took all that out of the movie. It probably wouldn't have changed anything.
It wouldn't have. It absolutely wouldn't have done anything to it. I feel like those are just three characters. Like Millie Bobby Brown, of course, she had to come back. She was in, King of the Monsters. Got it. Now, the issue I had with, oh, my bad, Danny, I didn't hear what you had to say. My bad. I didn't want to just jump in there.
The only thing I was really shocked was when Kong grabbed that car and killed the girl and the guy. I wasn't expecting that to happen. It was just like, fuck you, threw it away. I thought it was real cool. I didn't know what the whole inner earth thing was. I was kind of a little lost on that, but then once I saw that was like his home and he was the king, had the throne.
Yeah, dude, that throne kicked ass. It was like,
to me, it looked like his hammer was a part of Godzilla's fin.
It was. I believe it absolutely was. Yeah. Because the thing is that there was a flight. So like when he got to Hollow Earth and he was running across the fields, you actually saw like a young Godzilla-esque character that was crawling on the ground that grabbed some other animal. Yeah. And I was like, I can see how that can be. Like they had an ancient rivalry because they were the two biggest in Hollow Earth, and then maybe Godzilla's parents or Godzilla's ancient elders or something figured out a way to use that breath against them by using their own fin. And so I feel like that made sense. And the thing is that you really had to like follow Skull Island to know about the whole Hollow Earth thing. Like it really was like they talked about it a lot, but yet they didn't really touch on it in that movie because of the fact that they just couldn't, and they were just so busy dealing with just the fact that Kong was there. And I like, and again, both. I feel like I feel like Kong was the main character in this movie, and they shoehorned Godzilla and Mechagodzilla because King Kong doesn't really have any rivalries in any of his other movies. Like going back almost 100 years, he doesn't have any huge rivalries. He's always been shoehorned into somebody else's thing because he is the king of the monsters, like in our American universe.
Yeah.
So they had to. They couldn't create like something brand new, and I guess maybe now they can because of Hollow Earth. But other than that, they couldn't really do anything.
I tell you what, that Mechagodzilla, they don't want no more of him. If they rebuild that sucker, that's the first time.
Just pour a bottle of alcohol on it, it'll be fine.
I'm just saying, I've heard of him, but I'm not into the Godzilla lore and stuff like that. This is really like my second, third Godzilla film I've ever seen.
I'm glad.
Go ahead.
Oh no! Finish your statement.
I'm just saying, Mechagodzilla to me stole the movie because I mean he was doing some shit. I was like, damn, this sucker right here was and he almost beat both their ass. Yeah. So, to me that stole the show. I was always Team Kong, but when I saw it, I was like, damn. Well,
let me get to this super chat real quick because I just thought of something else I did not like that also involved the Godzilla storyline. Jasmine comes in with a $5 super chat. Why did Maya and the others step outside into Kong's temple without hazmat suits? Hazmat suits. How did they know it wasn't radiation?
And I'm gonna tell you like this. If Kong
can breathe air,
if Kong can breathe air between Earth and there, I mean, you could too. Like, it's not like he had an issue because he lived on Earth forever. So obviously, he already adapted to your atmosphere and your environment. They just wore it to be,
this is not like Superman.
This ain't Superman taking you into space. Yeah. So I mean, it made sense. It made sense, but it is a valid question.
The lack of gravity was kind of throwing me off too. And how did he know that?
Well, because I don't know if he knew that, but it would make sense that the gravity would be like that in the Hollow Earth.
That's where I got to give it to movies. That's where when it comes to movies, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna give you these like little nuances because it's like because they can easily just write that in and be like, how did you know the gravity switched? And he could have been like, oh yeah, we were reading, the readings on the last ship that went through, and that just let us know before anything happened. You know what I mean? They could have just easily wrote that in there. It wasn't a big deal, but I had some issues when it came to so one of my biggest issues, and this is kind of just me, so just forgive me, but I'm like, all right, so in every single Kong since 1930, he succumbed to a woman. Every single movie. Yeah, Danny, you know where I'm going. So every single movie, he succumbed by a woman. A woman is controlling him. He going after a woman. Woman.
Yeah.
Now, okay, granted, he's the most strongest, biggest guy on Earth, biggest animal on Earth. You telling me this little woman gonna control you? Anyway, regardless, that's a whole nother down go.
She didn't on that last part because he would not go into that doggone hole until they fooled him that his parents or more like him will be in there.
Are you talking about the little girl though? Because I don't think
no. Okay. Let me flesh this out because Danny knows what I'm trying to say. But let me flesh this out for people who are unaware. Since the 1930s, there is this conception that Kong is being used by media to state that it is this big black ape can only be controlled by
a white woman.
So the thing is that in every single movie, there's always a woman there that Kong is either going after or falls in love with. I'm like, dude, you were on an island full of women that ain't wearing no bras and they hanging all out, but you going after this thing here? Anyway, regardless, that's just me. And then with this movie, it continued But in this time, they actually made sense of why it happened, so I wasn't as upset with it because they were like,
it was also a little girl though.
They changed the blonde-headed white lady to a little girl this time.
Exactly, and it gave her an actual reason. It wasn't some white woman that came in and just was like, "Oh, look, Kong." No, this was Kong. Like, okay, your whole family died, everybody died, so now it's me and you that we both know where we both come from. I'm gonna defend you, and plus you have this impairment, but I'm gonna take care of you. So I get that. That I'm cool with. I'm just like, over the years they've always done that, but this time they've actually flipped the script. So initially I started getting upset, but then I thought about it and I was like, all right, that's a good way to flip the script on that. The other issue I had was with Mechagodzilla. I thought he was great. I thought he was awesome. But the thing was, it was just too easy of a setup. It was too much like a Dick Dastardly setup. Like
that was my problem.
I'm creating
words out of my mouth.
A Mechagodzilla over here, and I'm just like
character, man. And I've got the fucking glasses, like like what the fuck?
And so I'm just like, what is this here? And it's like
that didn't bother me as much.
I just feel like it was just too easy, and it was like it was so obvious. Like
them destroying it with the drink on the console. I give you that. It was a bit easy, but I really didn't figure out till I was on another stream that he had what's the other monster? He had some of his DNA in his circuits. That's why he
Ghidorah.
Yeah, King Ghidorah or whatever.
King Ghidorah. Yeah.
So he had some of his DNA, so that's why he went berserk.
Well, I get that, but for me, it's just the fact that this guy built it. Like I understand, like the whole. So like we've seen this in other movies before. We've seen this in Superman. We've seen this in Batman vs Superman. We've seen this in Captain America. We've seen this in Avengers. We've seen this all these movies where they're like, okay, who's gonna defend us when this being of ultimate power goes wrong? Where are we going to have a backup? Like that's why Batman wanted to destroy Superman. That's why Tony Stark created, the what's his name initiative, the Ultron initiative. You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen that before, and it's like at least with them they fleshed it out. And even with like Civil War where they created the Sokovia Accords, at least they gave us like a real world reason. Bro, what you doing? Like Godzilla ain't doing nothing to you, but you out here. He just saved the entire world from all these monsters, but you trying to find some way to take him out. Like I just felt like,
What kind of bothered me a little bit too. Okay, you fighting like y'all going at it full throttle. You get the better of him, and then you show him mercy at the end. Why did Godzilla show King Kong mercy when he had him beat?
What are you talking about? You mean like instead of just stepping straight through his chest?
Yeah, he done scratch him all up, done beat him all to hell. He had to kill him blow, and then he.
Kong was dying. Kong was dying.
I'm gonna give you my thoughts on that. First off, go to super chat, and then I'll jump into it.
The Amazing Webhead throws in a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so very much. Grew up with Godzilla and Kong. I enjoyed the film as it is. Dumb fun movie with two icons and the best this franchise has so far. Hoping for improving though.
Well, I agree with you. It wasn't the best, but I do like the dumb fun, the two icons. Definitely amazing. Definitely. But
there's something that goes with. I don't know if this is definitely not a chick flick, but you got a group of your boys, man. You want to go out and do something, man. It's that kind of movie.
It really is. It really is. It really is. But let me give a shout out to Miss Ayana Bartley who's watching on the stream. What's going on, ma'am? So what it is for me, I think that it was a good movie, had some flaws, but like I said, I had a problem with Mechagodzilla. So the thing is that I get it. He was part of, he had Ghidorah's DNA. He came out and he was whooping people's ass. Awesome. I'm gonna get back to what you were saying about him stepping on his chest, but I feel like it was a little bit much of like the Dick Dastardly, like I was saying before. But when he's actually fighting them, I had a problem because when he came out and he broke out of the mountain and he was like looking into the camera and he goes I was like, yo, what is that? Like Ghidorah never did that. Like that's like some some cartoon crazy nonsense.
Yeah.
Like you don't do that.
So Mechagodzilla did that.
Yeah, go back and watch it. He comes out of the mountain. He gets a close up on his face and he goes I'm like, bro, what is that? Like, no, like
I might be at fast forward too much.
But
that ain't gonna work that.
But to go back to what you were saying, why Godzilla had him beat. absolutely could have just stepped through his chest, been done with him, 100%. Now, only reason I would say that probably did not happen, or the reason why it had to happen that way, even though we know Godzilla. I mean, we know King Kong was the main man, because you got to remember, Japan still owns Godzilla, and the thing is that there is so many restrictions that they have when it comes to Godzilla and what you can and can't do with the franchise. It's almost like they're Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that you can and can't do concerning him. You have to show him winning. You have to show him this. You have to show him that. You know, maybe if a movie's going to end up like this, because you got to remember, these movies are for international markets. Japan's going to be like, hey.
And I heard people also said that this Godzilla arms were a little bit longer and he could use them more, and he was much faster than he was in the traditional Japanese movies, because he really like boom, boom.
Yeah.
So he was much faster. His arms did have more of a reach than I've seen in the past.
Well, yeah, because when they made these movies, they knew there was going to be a crossover. That's why Kong is bigger than he was in the originals too.
Well, the reason they explain that, because the thing is that movie was in the 1970s.
Yeah.
Or 1960s, 1970s. Yeah. So now we're fast forwarding almost 50 years.
Yeah.
So 50 years of growing, you know what I mean? Like, because Godzilla, we only saw him in 2014. So if Kong is a teenager in 1970s, you know, he's already older than Godzilla when we first meet him. So I mean, it just made sense. So I mean, like, if you pay attention, they do make sense, but it's just like they're not really like knocking you over the head with it. And I like the fact that we have to kind of dig into it to understand.
But don't you think at some point King Kong will have to find a mate, because he can't live for fucking ever.
They can't do that, bro. They did that back in the 80s. Godzilla found, King Kong died. Godzilla or King Kong? Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about King Kong.
King Kong, they did it back in the 80s. So King Kong died in the original movie. In the 1980s movie with the guy from Tron, forgot his name, but he died. And then there's a sequel, like I was watching, there's a sequel called King Kong Lives or something like that, where he's almost dead, but they have to transplant his heart, so they have to give him like the biggest heart transplant of ever. But yet then all of a sudden they found a female Kong. He found her, mated with her. They wanted to catch them both. He ended up dying, or so they thought. She ended up having a child, and he ended up dying at the end. I've never
heard anything you're talking about now.
Bro, it's out there. It's out there. And the thing is that I'm actually going to watch it, because shout out to Joe Blow, movie site. What they do is that they go back and they dig into awfully good movies. And that was one of the ones they talked about. And I was like, yeah, that looks pretty good. And they were like, you got to give it some props, because it was like some real prosthetics in there and some real like monster makeup. And it was just bloody and gory. It was a crappy movie. Absolutely. They had no qualms about it, but they were like, at least it kind of fills it out, but it's a sucky movie. Yeah. So they try with King Kong, and they were like, after that, they just said, screw it. We're just going to reboot it to 2005. And even then I saw somebody in the comments were like, 2005 was great. I'm like, yo, 2005 had a big following, because he just came off of Lord of the Rings, but whatever he was doing, like, he jumped on that, and then everybody was like, oh, Peter Jackson, King Kong. And I'm like, listen, man, that movie was way too long, way too bloated for 2005. And I didn't really care for it. And it had a lot of like these slow-mo shots. And then on top of that, that movie even pushed what I was talking about earlier more than the 1930s movies about how he was controlled by that woman. And I'm just like, I ain't watching that. I'm not watching that. Like, that's why when Kong Skull Island came out, for me, that was the best version of Kong for me, because the thing is that, yes, he was menacing, he was mean, but he was doing that for a purpose and a reason. Like, why y'all coming here disturbing these guys who've been on the ground, and now you're trying to bother them? Nah, y'all got to go, because y'all created havoc for me. And
the only thing I don't like about King Kong, when he kills somebody, he like drink and eat their brain matter and shit. I'm like, what the hell kind of damn?
Well, I mean, that was, I don't know. Like, I just feel like he's been doing that since the first one. When he killed that squid and he like ate the whole squid.
I mean, you gotta eat, bro. Hold on, let me get to the super chat though.
Yeah, but some you don't know what the fuck it is,
dude. He's a giant ape, man. They're gonna eat whatever. The Amazing Webhead said $1.99 super chat. The laugh was telling him, the laugh was him telling Godzilla, "I'm back, fool." That was coming from
yeah. I feel you, but still, that was stupid. Like, Ghidorah never talked. Ghidorah never said anything. Ghidorah never laughed. All it did, it has 3 heads. And I'm sorry. I see where you're coming from, but I ain't with that. I don't think that. So I see that. So I see this comment right here, Mr. Rogers. He said Kong scratching his ass was really stupid. They treated
I didn't
Kong like
like that
crap.
either. I
I'm
didn't
like,
like that either.
I mean, like again, this is more of my reason. With Godzilla, Godzilla is a menacing, monster. This, that, and the third. He ain't got nobody following him. He's doing what he does. He's roaming the earth. He's
Yeah.
whatever. He ain't got nobody doing nothing. But Kong, oh, they got to make him look like an asshole. They got to make him look like, oh, he's scratching his balls and his ass and sitting on the throne and acting like big shit. But it's like,
yeah.
Why you got to do that? Like, why you got to do that? Like, what is it about it? Like, why can't do that to the Godzilla? But then again, I go back to Japan controls the rights to that Toho, and they're like, listen, you ain't doing this to the Godzilla. The Godzilla, you can't do this, all of this. You can't do that with Godzilla. King Kong, ain't nobody really owned the rights except Universal, and there's a whole bunch of men sitting around saying, oh yeah, whatever you guys think is gonna go great, just make us more money. And Japan's like, no, we are gonna control this IP. Like we better believe, because it's the first thing you think of Godzilla, you think of Japan immediately.
Yeah.
When you think of King Kong, what do you think about? Nothing. You know what I'm saying?
The Empire State Building.
I mean, okay, yeah, you think about New York. Okay, that's it.
I was just checking to make sure I was right. Gorillas are fucking vegetarians. They don't eat meat, so that ain't.
Wow, Dan, you're really looking into this shit way too hard, man.
Bro,
we're talking about a movie where there's giant monsters fight each other.
I'm just saying it, man. They're vegetarians. I didn't make up
robot.
the rule. I did not make up the rule.
We got a super chat come in from Sherry, baby. Just a friendly off-topic reminder: don't drink and drive.
It's a Sunday night, 11 p.m. If you out and you drinking and sitting at a bar right now watching this, you do something with your life.
I've told you that I do not drink and drive. Okay, I make sure I'm always sober before I drive.
What does that got to do? All right.
It's a long story, man. It's
absolutely.
A long story.
I mean, it was worth some money, so that's good. That's good.
But back to the topic that doesn't involve drinking and driving. I feel the same way you do, Sharif. It's like why is Kong treated like a Jar Jar Binks? Like, why we get him getting up, scratching his ass, like doing some of this ridiculous stuff, and meanwhile Godzilla is the like I don't know, like the menace, the force.
That's just something to make you kind of chuckle. That's all it is.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be in there, though.
I mean, I get the point. I have no problem. I'm not like super upset at it. It wasn't like a real like coon moment or nothing. I just was like, I didn't really think of anything. Like I said, I just read the comment. It wasn't something that popped into my head, because when he started kicking his ass, I loved the fight. I loved it. My favorite part was when they're in China and they're fighting, and Godzilla's like pulling off all these King Kong's pulling off all these NBA moves, moving side, moving around, flipping this, that. I was like, look at this here. Look at this here.
I was laughing to myself. I was like, I know King Kong's like, oh shit, if he hit me with that shit, it's gonna be a bad day.
That's exactly what he's thinking. He was dodging it. He was man. He was dodging like he was like, I ain't trying to get hit with that. Or he got hit with that earlier at the beginning of the fight, right? So he was like, I ain't get hit with that again.
You look like Batman trying to dodge
Superman's beams.
Mega beams. That's what that shit was.
I liked when, I can't remember if it was the first fight they did or the second fight, when Godzilla went to go do that radiation beam and Kong just shoved that shit in his fucking throat.
That was the first fight. That was the first fight. I mean, that was the second fight. He's
like, fuck no.
When he got
that tomahawk. Yeah, he was like, screw that. And I thought that was cool. And I think I think they could fully flesh that out in the next movie, like how that happened, how that occurred, how maybe, the Kongs were behind the 8 ball until they were able to find out that they can control that beam with that. And then that's how they were able to take over Hollow Earth and become kings and whatever. And I think that that'd be a really cool story to be able to tell, and then find out that, Godzilla was like, you know what, I'm the last one, or my people losing this fight. So let me just go ahead and go on up and stay up there and just rule up there or something like that. Because I think that would have been a really cool backstory to go into. To really kind of explain and flesh out, because we kind of got some of the backstory when it came to Godzilla in King of the Monsters, where he goes down into his lair and they have all those like hieroglyphics on the wall when they got to renew him with the nuke. But then again, if you look at it, but now that I'm thinking of that, they did the same shit in King of the Monsters that they did here.
Yeah,
Godzilla got his ass whooped, and then you had to sacrifice with the Japanese guy. Had to hit him with a nuclear bomb to bring him back.
Except for white guy didn't die.
Yeah, had to bring him back. But in this one, I didn't say it. You did. So
fucking whitey didn't die in this one. If you were Japanese or another race, you're dead.
So he did that, and then all of a sudden, they're doing that there. So I'm not saying they're rehashing, but they're like, all right, we got to get them down and out, bring them back, give them some fight, something, because these are mega monsters. But also that last fight with Mecha, it brought me back to some Pacific Rim vibes, like that whole arm that he had, in them with, like that brought me, like I was like, this is Pacific, and then even like the super punch, like with the rockets on the back, like I was like, that's Pacific Rim style right there, Warner Brothers, y'all reusing y'all playbook out here.
Yeah, dude, I want to see a Godzilla Kong versus Pacific Rim so damn bad, like so bad.
Listen.
Man.
I would love this. That would be cool. That would be cool, but I don't think Warner Brothers is gonna match all of their things.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that, and they would have to get Guillermo del Toro to direct it because Pacific Rim 2 sucked. Like it was awful.
It did. It wasn't great at all. And I don't know. I think Pacific Rim is one of like Pacific Rim and Kong Skull Island are like two of my favorite like monster tall kaiju type movies because the thing is that they were both semi-original IPs, and they were able to do something great with them. Like again, like I was listening to the commentary for Skull Island, and the director talked about how he really wanted the Samuel L. Jackson character to look at King Kong like Captain Ahab versus the whale.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, that's why you got a lot of those shots, and that's why Samuel L. Jackson was so hell bent on destroying King Kong because of the fact that he took out his men and this, that, and the third, and he really wanted to like pound that in there, and I thought that was like really, really, really cool. But other than that, I think it was a good movie. You definitely should watch it on the biggest screen possible to get the maximum effect. But I was just good watching it at home. I had, I got my sound system thumping. I got a big enough screen. I was happy.
That's what I did.
I was like, I'm good. I'm chilling. I was not upset at all. I mean, I felt like I would have got gypped if I went to the movies to see it and then only got those 2 fights and just sat there because this definitely wasn't no like Pacific Rim type thing because Pacific Rim was like amazing. Like I remember that was one of the first movies I ever saw in IMAX, like the full three story tall IMAX. And I was blown the F away. And even to this day, like I don't think that any other movie that I've seen has taken advantage of the full screen as that did. Because I think
sorry.
No, go ahead, Dan.
I like Pacific Rim. I don't think it's original. I think it's they kind of took the Gundam series and just kind of made it live action because it's basically a Gundam. The man inside the suit. The only thing that was original. And in the Gundams, it's just one-on-one, the pilot and the actual ship.
Yeah.
Now you gotta have those 2 people working in tandem.
Yeah.
I wasn't too upset with the second one. The first one was
I hated the second one so much.
Yeah, the second one I wasn't too happy about, and I was like, come on, you gonna tell me this guy adopted this Japanese girl and gave her like all the no. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing wrong with the adoption part. He adopted the Japanese girl and she took to him like like a fly to honey and did everything that and learned everything and did everything. But yet you got this son over here throwing parties and throwing this and throwing that, and you upset at your dad because he's out there saving your butt so you can have these like random ass parties. But then you upset at your adopted sister because of what? Because she decided to hone her craft.
Want to do something with her life. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, and then now you stuck to this, and it's like, what?
That's one of the main reasons why I don't really care for him as an actor. I know I shouldn't, but
who
got Finn?
John Boyega?
I don't like.
John Boyega.
I love John Boyega.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan of him. It's just that the first movie I saw him in was Attack the Block. From Edgar Wright. That was one of the first movies I saw him in, and I thought that movie was so cool and really original. And there was some like I think the guy from Legends of Tomorrow, the fire guy, Firestorm with the doctor. He's in Attack the Block also, and I thought that was really cool. But from then on, I'm like, John Boyega is an English actor, like hardcore. Like you try to like go ahead and like give me this American accent thing, don't really work. Like you're a good actor, I just don't see it. And then I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of his character in any of the Star Wars movies.
I'm not either.
I'm like, listen, bro, like you
the very first one,
like he overacts. Like he overacts in the scenes.
In Star Wars, it had nothing to do with overacting. He just kept chasing somebody and yelling her name and doing this and doing that. I was like, bro, like, what you doing for us in the galaxy? Is that what we do in the galaxy? Is that what we're brought down to in the galaxy? That's it. That's all we doing. Yeah. No, I'm sure we doing something else. Either we swindlers and double crossers with goddamn Lando, or we chasing after some women.
Hey, he was a janitor too. I mean,
I don't give a shit. Whoa, thank you for that. He was a janitor. Oh yeah,
I was trying to prove your point even more.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay.
I don't care for him as an actor.
I'm going to get back to him in a second. Duck Dodger says we didn't see Kong hard on because it was cold in the Antarctic. I assure you, he is all ape.
See what I'm talking about?
I wasn't looking for his wiener, man.
More of the sexualization of big.
There was somebody in the chat that said, "How could he reproduce? He didn't see a schlong," and then that's what Duck Dodger responds to that individual. LDG.
Oh my God.
Nobody care about an ape schlong.
No, I'm not even thinking about that. But to get back to John Boyega,
if you want to see big schlongs in your face, go watch Watchmen. Go ahead. Yeah. Pause it to your delight. Shit, y'all worried about schlongs.
But and okay, so John Boyega, I agree with you in his character in the Star Wars trilogy. They fucked him over. He had one opportunity. Well, it's not him. That ain't John Boyega's fault. But the studio had one opportunity to redeem his character, and that was when he was flying toward the thing in Last Jedi, where he could have killed himself to sacrifice himself for everybody.
He's flying to that gun.
That would have been the first and only thing that they could have done to redeem that character that would have made sense for the character that they established. But instead, it's the same thing over and over. Ray. I gotta find Ray. Like, dude, it's like, what the fuck? But I don't know if you guys ever seen it. He was amazing in Detroit.
Yeah, I saw Detroit. I watched it. Detroit is a good movie. I like that movie for different reasons. I liked it because it was a true story. I liked it because it was directed by Catherine Bigelow. I am a huge fan of hers.
I like Catherine Bigelow too.
I just liked that, like what they portrayed about that. He did really good in that role, even though he was a little bit of a simp, but he did do really good in that role. And one of the actors from Judas and the Black Messiah, he was in there too, and he did a good job.
I haven't seen that yet.
You gotta watch, bro. You gotta watch. Listen, Danny. If you're gonna go into that whole rabbit hole, watch Detroit, watch Trial of the Chicago 7, and watch Judas and the Black Messiah. Chicago 7 and Black Messiah, they happen around the same time, and they mention each other in those films. So the thing is that it's pretty cool. Yeah, no.
You watch One Night in Miami?
Oh, of course, man. Trust me. First 10 minutes of that movie, I paused it, I stood up, and I just clapped. After when he was on the porch. I just clapped.
I tell you what, that guy that played Malcolm X, I don't know who he is, but he is going to be doing great things, man.
No. I'm going to tell you. So we jumping off a little bit off topic, but there's a show called The Godfather of Harlem. The brother that plays Malcolm X in there, that's the Malcolm X that I like.
Okay.
I like One Night in Miami, Malcolm, but that brother in Godfather of Harlem, he was definitely it.
Forrest Whitaker, right?
Yes, Forrest Whitaker, absolutely. But
I saw the first 2 episodes, but then I think was that on Hulu now?
Which one?
The Harlem
Godfather of Harlem? No. Godfather of Harlem is only on Epix. Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I gotta find that. I think I saw. How they give you the first episode free?
Yeah. You gotta watch that whole thing, man. I'm telling you, because I love that show because it crisscrosses with actual reality and people that knows, and then for me, it also crisscrosses with American Gangster and the shit. Everything's going on with Malcolm X and Bucky Johnson, and oh my God, I mean, you go back and you read about those times, and it's like it's portrayed on screen. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I mean, it was like an extension of American Gangster. Like, wonderful.
I tried to watch Judith and the Black Messiah a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Me and Lou were going to watch it, and they already took it off HBO Max. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I watched it right before it went off because I was like, I got to watch this thing, man. my God, so watch it.
I didn't have HBO Max at the time, right? I got it just for Justly. So I was like, it was like a day before. I was like, all right, we're gonna watch a movie. Let's watch it. So I wanted to go click it. Wasn't on there. I was like, mother fuck my life, man.
All right. So what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna kind of jump back. So we're gonna talk about Godzilla versus King Kong. Another thing that for me, and we all know Godzilla has like a nice long history. But the thing is, I like when they take an American spin on Godzilla. Like one of my favorite Godzillas, and still my fun one to this day, is the 1998 Godzilla. That is my favorite. Like
talking about the one with Matthew Broderick.
Exactly. Yeah. That's my favorite one because the thing is that it took Godzilla and then it took it a little further because Godzilla actually got removed from the movie for a good 20, 30 minutes to really focus on like take it in a different direction. So it was really cool and it was fun. And you know what? My son is 5, and I was able to watch that movie with him and really enjoy that. And that's what kind of got him excited.
The only thing he didn't have any kind of radioactive breath or anything.
No, he didn't. No, so what it is okay. So again, I'm sorry, man. I watch all the commentaries of all the movies that I love. So what they were talking about was that he did not have any type of breath or anything. They added it post making the movie because Toho was like he needs something. So there's a scene where they're driving in the back of with the taxi when like he's chasing him after they blew up Madison Square. Mm-hmm. And you can see that in post they added fire scenes and they added that extra scene to show like a car being thrown because of the fact that Toho was like, listen, we need that in there. Again, what I mean by Japan really controls their IP. Yeah. And it's like crazy and we don't have anything like that to control except Mickey Mouse.
But then they also made him asexual too, because didn't he lay like a bunch of eggs in Madison?
Yeah, what they did was that. Yeah, what they said is that some lizards are asexual; they can reproduce on their own.
From damn Jurassic Park.
Yes, they did take that from Jurassic Park. Nature will find a way.
Duck Dodgers comes in with another $5 super chat. Which is dumber, Independence Day computer virus or KV or King Kong versus Godzilla's alcohol on the keyboard is safe? Oh no, the computer virus not as dumb. But sitting there, like you have this giant Mechagodzilla whooping ass, and you just pour alcohol on the fucking dashboard and it fucking short circuits. Get the hell out of here!
I think the computer virus was dumb and all. I thought that was very smart.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that was pretty more intelligent, and it made sense throughout the movie how it happened. So definitely the alcohol on the keyboard was the worst. And I feel like the computer virus was the best because throughout the movie they were showing him as a computer guy, this, that, the third. Up here,
not only the damn danger they had to go just to infect the virus into that system.
Oh yes, exactly. It wasn't just like some simple like all I do is download and pirate movies. Shut up, bro.
Yeah, like literally, like they established what his career profession was. They even show him test it out to test his theory, and then like there was a whole trial error. Like they built up to it.
100% computer virus. 100%.
Like, before you drink that, let me just throw it all over the keep. Like, what the?
See, a dumb thing would have been like, let's go to the satellite and upload wirelessly through a satellite. That would have been the easy way out.
You know what a dumb thing is? Having an alien invade, a planet that is 75% water and they die if they touch water. That's a dumb thing.
Which one is that? Are you talking about how day the Earth stood still or whatever it is?
No, I'm talking signs.
Man, you know what,
you
man?
I've
seen signs. I just
had the signs in the field.
Yeah. Mel Gibson, I think it was, right?
I actually like
Joaquin
signs.
Phoenix.
I'll be the first person to admit, like, you can't touch water, but you're gonna invade a planet that's 75% water. Like, come on, man.
But I don't know. I just think that when it came to, definitely Independence Day was the smarter way to do it because it actually went into the larger version of the movie, like a larger portion, because it was like he tested it, it worked, he did it, he uploaded it. The second it went in there, then the action started, and we got all those cool lines of today is our Independence Day, and then you had the I'm back, like all of that happened because of that, and that was like such a big part of it, as opposed to this stupid keyboard of.
They had to learn how to fly the alien craft in order to get up there.
Yeah.
Get inside the damn ship. So
yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts that made sense to the payoff.
So I'm just thinking that I just think that definitely the alcohol on the keyboard was dumber. 100%.
Yeah, it was stupid. It
100%.
didn't even need to be in the movie. They could have cut that out completely. It wouldn't have changed a goddamn thing.
Really wouldn't have. I just feel like that was a way for them to connect to like younger, demographic for this movie. You already had Millie Bobby Brown, Brian Tyree Henry. I just felt like he was just. I didn't like him hanging with them. Like I would have liked him following Kong because Brian Tyree Henry is a really good actor and he's in a lot of good movies. And like he was even in Judas and the Black Messiah, and he had a really good small role. And then on top of that, he did Atlanta. He's actually the voice of Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales' father. You know what I mean? Like he has a lot of really good roles, but I feel like if people just see him in this in live action, like these same people ain't watching Black Messiah and Into the Spider-Verse and just watching this and then seeing him, being
Acting,
like
acting
a fool. Like it's just it's not there. But but if he got paid, get your money. Again, like I was saying, we didn't see the plan with Tyler Perry. But if you got a plan in your head and we can't see it, don't tell everybody. Loose lips sink ships. You do what you do, and I'm good with it. Make your money, man.
Yeah,
Make
Tyler
your money,
Perry
bro.
definitely had a plan. I did not.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Exactly.
Jasmine came in with a super chat. What's dumb? Apex is supposed to be $1 billion corporation, yet its security is laughable. No ID card scans, no security cams, etc.
Listen. They had a bunch of rebels. They had a bunch of rebels running around with like shorts and sticks in Terminator 2, and they infiltrated Cyberdyne systems. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, it's always going to happen like that. You're going to have sticks and stones going against, that. It's always going to be that, age-old David versus Goliath biblical story of happening.
You can't have it both ways. Y'all just said earlier that there's too much human interaction into these monster movies. So if they break down and show how they did get past all that stuff, that's going to take more screen time away from the monsters instead of putting it on the humans. So I'd rather go ahead, let it be easy.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I like the fact that they didn't show all of that. I didn't want them to show all of that. I didn't need it. I was agreeing with the fact that the security systems in these places are supposed to be lax. Like I mean, that's always been a trope of movies. Like they've always just been you walk in like just simple. So I didn't really care about that. I really didn't care.
Duck Dodgers comes in with a $2 super chat. What happened if the aliens and signs get rained on? I got a better question, right? They invade at night in a cornfield. I don't know about you guys, but if you guys ever been out in the field at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there's this thing called dew that's on all the fucking plants, right? They would like be burnt to crisp just going through one thing of wheat.
But hold on, that happened in 2 movies where the aliens were allergic to water. The Day the Earth Stood Still.
No, they weren't allergic to water. All the viruses on the planet that we grew to beat, it affected them.
They didn't have an immune system.
Yeah, they didn't have the immune system.
Okay, I forget. Oh, maybe I'm just mixing them together or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, but it's almost the same premise, except for the aliens and signs is just dumb. Like you see water while you invaded it, where the aliens and the Day the Earth Stood Still, they didn't know we had diseases and stuff where their immune system couldn't fight. Both endings were awful. But
and no, Aiden, we're not defending Independence Day Resurgence. Absolutely not. I mean, shit all over the movie.
Resurgence. I don't know what you're
all
talking
over that
about.
movie. I don't know. Maybe he's getting the movies confused because ain't nobody talking about that thing at all.
No. As far as I'm concerned, there is no sequel.
That one time.
Yeah, me too. I only saw it once, and I was like,
I saw it, man. Me and Adam went to a double feature. We saw the original, and then we saw.
Why would you torture yourself? Oh my god!
Because I love the original. Like
but it was the first time you saw Resurgence after the original.
Yeah. It was
okay. So you didn't know.
I didn't know Resurgence was gonna be.
The only thing I like about Resurgence is I love the guy that played the president.
Yeah, but he didn't do shit. He was so much PTSD. He didn't do nothing. Crazy. I was expecting at least a smaller speech of what he gave.
Yeah, right at the end where he's about to sacrifice himself. I'm like, all right, this is where this shit's gonna turn around. He's gonna give us some kind of speech. Nothing. I'm like,
nothing happened, bro. Like nothing. So, and I'm not defending it at all.
I hate that movie. I pretend it doesn't exist. New for Rufus comes in with a $5 super chat. When I was starring when I was staring at Kong, I don't know if it was CGI, but his movements reminded me of the animatronics in Chuck E. Cheese from time to time.
I don't know what to tell you now. I don't know if Rufus, if you were like luckily you were like so much more well off than me, or your parents didn't like you. But I've never ever been to Chuck E. Cheese, and I wouldn't know what you talk. No, man. My parents. Okay, you know what it is? My parents are bougie. My parents wouldn't step foot in Chuck E. Cheese. They'd be like, "You can sit at home, and I'll buy you a video game instead of catch my behind in Chuck E. Cheese."
Yeah, I've been there once, and it's not all that great.
I would never go.
Especially love it.
Man, especially in Miami, man, people just act a fool in Chuck E. Cheese.
They don't care about the pizza; they go for the games. That's all.
And then you got all this, down in Miami, you got nothing but baby mama drama and people running into each other's kids and like my daddy, your daddy, my daddy, and we fighting. And I'm good on that though.
And the area where we stay at, there's so many better places you can go to play arcade games and shit for kids. You don't need to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Nah, bro. Like, they don't survive. They don't survive.
Yeah. It's not a.
So end of the day, they released Godzilla vs. King Kong. Movies like that, I always believe, and I've said this ever since I wasn't in film school, but I was in entertainment and doing my master's in entertainment, and I was like, listen, I believe 70% of the movies that come out today that are like big budgets are geared towards for an international audience.
Absolutely.
No questions, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because that's where they know that they're going to make their money. So they gear it and they tailor it towards international audiences. And again, with China, especially with China, only I think it's only like 10 American movies or 15 American movies get through a year, because they have to be like certain specially screened and this, that, and the third, and they'll go back to the theaters and say, hey, we need to change this around to make it more Chinese, or make this around to change this. And thing is that they'll do it. They'll bend over and do it. You know why? Because there's a billion eyes in China compared to 300 million eyes over here, and they know they're gonna make $1 billion over there. And that's what they did with I don't know why Disney did it, but they re-released, the Avatar in China just to push it over to be the number one movie. It's like, you already have the number one movie. Like, why?
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's an explanation. I saw an article about it.
So they could do the same thing with Endgame again. So they could re-release that in China. I don't fucking know.
James Cameron start crying.
You know probably why they did it. You know probably why they did it, so that when they go ahead and they release it, the marketing, they can be number one movie of all time. You know what I mean? Just to get that thing.
When the sequel comes out, well, I want to throw in the 10-minute warning, and then I got a super chat where Amazing Webhead says, Rob, tell us your Chuck E. Cheese story. I mean, there's not much to tell. I forgot how old I was. This was down when I was still living in Fort Lauderdale. My parents took me, my sister, my brother. My sister barely could fit through the door. She ate all the pizza. I don't remember. I remember playing a Jurassic Park arcade game, and that was really it. I wasn't too impressed with it. I kind of want to say it was kind of trashy, to be honest with you. Chuck E. Cheese ain't for me, man. It's not for me.
I'm gonna turn on the TV one day and I'm gonna see a female just whipping the shit out of Rob. And they're gonna be like, it's the victim's sister.
First of all, that bitch would have to get up, and that ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah.
There is no crane or stick big enough to lift her ass out of bed.
Okay.
Okay.
I called it first here, y'all. Rob's sister whips his ass. We're gonna see it on national TV.
That ain't never gonna happen.
And then they're gonna call them both to put a reality show.
The storms.
The calm before the storms.
That's it right there.
I would have a heads up before she gets here, because the ground will start shaking the closer she gets to me. So I can just walk away. She can't run.
So I'm just saying, man. But either way, Chuck E. Cheese ain't for me. Like I said, my parents too bougie for that. They'd rather send me sit at home. So I never saw it. I went to Discovery Zone. That was cool.
Yeah, I like Discovery Zone
when I was a kid, but I didn't really do much else. I was Discovery Zone, and when I got older, it was the arcades. Hence my love of Mortal Kombat. So
same here.
Yeah, so that was it for me, man.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese, man. I kind of felt like you did. I went to the arcades. I've been to Discovery Zone, I think, one or twice. Dave and Buster's I've been to a few times. I like, but yeah. 5-minute warning, guys. You got anything else you want to throw in there about the movie before we close it up?
I'm excited to see where they go in terms of sequels, and maybe they can do a standalone story. Let's not like, okay, so you brought them together, split them apart again. Have Kong have a further story going forward. Have Godzilla have another story going forward. Maybe really set up their two stories and then bring them back together again for an existential threat. And I'm cool with that. But don't do another Kong versus Godzilla.
No, absolutely not.
I want to see Kong go back to Middle Earth and just reclaim his damn throne. Because you saw quite a few damn buzzard bats, whatever the hell they was up there. And them things look like they could be something.
I want another, because if you count this movie, there's been 3 Godzilla movies: 2014, King of Monsters, and now this. There's only been one Kong movie, which was Skull Island. Like, give us another Kong movie.
Yeah, that's what we need. That's exactly what I think they should do. Like, again, go back down to Hollow Earth and deal with that. Let Godzilla chill up there. And
something's going to happen, because didn't they have those skull smashers or something? A bunch of them that the Mechagodzilla was practicing against.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I don't think they destroyed that base.
No,
and they
going to get out. They're going to get out on Earth, and Kong going to have to damn save the Earth.
Yeah. New Farufus comes in with a $2 super chat. If Kevin comes to the MCU, I bet he plays Cyclops.
Kevin who?
Yeah, Kevin who? Who the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know who Kevin is.
I don't know who Kevin is either. He name dropping just the first name like we all supposed to know.
I guess so. I don't know. Kevin Feige? I don't know.
Kevin Feige's in the MCU.
He ain't playing nobody, so I know what you're talking about. But either way, man, I think we're good, man. I just think that, the movie was good. It was good for what it is. It's a really good springboard. Yeah. Give Godzilla a 3rd movie. Let Kong sleep, and let us enjoy some of that,
Gentlemen, gorilla goodness. Advice. Males watch us in the chat. Do not take your woman to go see this. It is not a chick flick. Nope. Go with your son or go with your boys.
Nope.
Don't go with your girl, because she gonna be mad. You could probably got to watch 2 chick flicks to make up for that one.
Really quickly, he said Kevin Smith.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Smith, what's his name? He said Mr. Rogers said Kevin Smith. I don't know. Nick Rufus has to be smart. I don't know.
Nick Rufus is being a smart ass. That's what he's doing.
I think so.
Man.
I mean, I don't know. Take the $2 and run.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, last super chat that we're gonna go. Oh shit, he threw 2 in. Hold on. Kevin is the Ghidorah head in
MG. Yeah. Okay. And the curious one.
Sorry, Henry Cavill.
He said Henry Cavill.
Oh, well, then he said Kevin. Okay. If Henry
Kevin, that's completely different than Henry.
You meant Cavill. Most people said Kevin.
Well, I would love to see Henry Cavill play Cyclops. I don't know if they're going to do that, though.
Henry Cavill, he's not going to say he's blackballed, but he definitely has some work to do behind the scenes. He ain't no Ray Fisher, but he been causing some strife.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
He needs to work on himself.
All right, guys. So with that said, we're gonna call it an end for the night. I want to thank Danny and Sharif for joining me. Adam and Anzo should be back tomorrow, so we should have the original crew. Don't know what the main topic's gonna be. I think we're gonna talk about the New Gods being canceled, because I got a lot to say about that. So that's probably gonna be the topic tomorrow. DC still screwed. That's tomorrow's topic. So thanks again, everybody. I do have the link to Danny's YouTube channel in the description box below, so go over there and be sure to subscribe. And until next